Hello friends and welcome back to another video. Stroll back with you, and today we're going to look at a product that promises to help out with the problem of battery life. Now we all know that with the LG V20 you get around a day's worth of battery, maybe 4 to 5 hours of screen on time, so it's about average at best, but the company ZeroLemon has a product that might change all of that. This is the ZeroLemon 10,000 milliamp hour extended battery case. You heard that right. So what this is this is a normal TPU case, but it has a 10,000 milliamp battery in here. What? Well, first off, let's get the elephant out of the room. This is a big case. This is my normal daily case that I would use, is the Rinky Onyx case. And if you put them side to side, it's a pretty huge case. It's a brick of a case, so to speak. And overall, it takes a bit to get used to. The nice thing is after about a day or so, I didn't really notice that big of a deal with it. If you have little hands, it might be a hard thing to get used to. I'm about 6'4" and my hands are fairly large, and I don't have any issues with this, but things like your dash mount for holding the phone might not work so well. Putting it in smaller pockets might not work out for you. Things like that are adjustments that you have to get used to. It's also a decent bit heavier, and that's obviously because you have a 3 times the size battery in there, so it's gonna have some more weight to it. The process to adding this extended battery is very simple. So you have your LG V20 here, and here is the ZeroLemon case. And as you can see, it has this 10,000 milliamp battery here. It's a pretty big guy. So you just have that and you place it in the bottom there. It has little places that hold it in there. And then you just take your normal V20 here and you pop off the back. Simple as that. And then you pop out your battery. Put that down to the side and you put the new battery in here just like so. Simple, it just looks like that. And then you put this in here, and so it's really just no math to it. You just pop it in there and turn your LG back on. It's as simple as that. As you can see, this is different than a normal battery case. A normal battery case, it just has a hump on the back of your case that adds external battery and plugs into your charging port, and when you're used up all your internal battery from your actual phone, then you can start using the external battery that's connected to the battery case. This is just super rudimentary. It's literally just taking out your existing 3,000 milliamp battery and sticking in a 10,000 milliamp hour in there and smashing it on the back with this TPU case. And thankfully, this case that it comes with is really solid. It's got a nice edge around the front of the display, so you're able to set down that flat and it's not going to hit or scratch your display. On the back, it has this big cutout for your camera glass and your fingerprint sensor. It actually has this like textured little bit here, if you can see it, that is kind of in here that's different than the TPU case itself, but it kind of covers that little bit around the top of the glass and around the front here. So that's nice, so if there's anything that kind of gets in there, it doesn't scratch up that back of your phone there. But the case overall here is this black, and it's kind of a textured finish. It's not as coarse as like sand, but it is got a little coarseness to it. So it actually makes the grip kind of nice. And since it is pretty boxy, it fits easily and it won't slip out of your hand. So that's gonna make your V20 a little easier to hold, although it does make it bigger. On the bottom, these port cutouts are great. They're nice and good size here. There's a good thickness on the bottom here, so since it is heavier and it's heavier at the bottom here, you're more than likely when it drops is going to drop down to the bottom. So I'm thankful that there's extra thickness on the bottom with the headphone jack, the USB-C, and the speaker cutout. So that's a good overall feature that I think is going to be great for the lifetime durability of this. Probably my least favorite feature out of this case is the buttons for the volume up and volume down. They're a little mushy, and so sometimes when you hit the volume up or hit the volume down, they'll hit the other one together or separately. So you might be trying to turn up the volume and quickly hit it and it go actually down. or etc. back and forth. But it's actually worn in a little bit better and has been better as the days have gone on. So now what I'm sure you've been waiting for, Joel, it's cool, the case looks good, I saw you put it together, but what's the battery life like? Well, let me show you. I have a couple updates here from the 3 days that I've been using this phone without charging it. Let's take a look. Skinny jean wearers beware. Yowzers. All right, here, so it's been about 2 hours so far, and we have still been on 100% battery life, and I don't know if you can really see it, but it's 100%, and we've been a little bit of Facebook, some Clash Royale game, Twitter, some email, and a few things, so nothing crazy heavy, but still 100% after 2 hours, so we'll see how it goes. Well, here we are. We made it through our first day with the ZeroLemon extended battery, the 10,000 milliamp battery, and I have to say, it did great. We did, as you can see here, 15 hours of usage, or 8 or so in the morning, and then now it's 11:40 p.m., just wrapping up my day. Says it still has 25 hours and 43 minutes remaining, estimated. You go down here, we'll see what really got it here. 7% was the screen. And so I did a screen on time of 4 hours and 13 minutes. And that's not crazy. That's not overwhelming for normal. I would normally average that on a normal day, but because this is such a huge battery, that's why I'm able to get so much longer on another couple days. And so some days I would end anywhere from 4 to 4.5 to 5 on a good day of screen on time, depending on what I'm doing. But as you can see here, Pokemon Go used 2%, but it really drained it pretty hard. And then I was streaming music quite a bit, so that took 3% of my battery from Spotify. I love Spotify, and it streams pretty constantly when I am out and about with Bluetooth. So a couple things to take note is here. I had my Bluetooth at all times on, and a lot of times it was connected to my Moto 360. I had Wi-Fi on while I'm here at the house, and then also had location services GPS on at all times. So then the last 4 hours or so, I was at a place that searched for service a lot. So that probably drained a good bit of percentage. But other than that, Clash Royale for some games. I took a bunch of pictures and some video tonight as well. Pictures throughout the day. So that's a good usage. I should be able to get at least all the way through tomorrow and then some into the third day as well. So I'll give you updates as we move along. Alright guys, it's about 11:30 at night, end of day 2, and I have an update on the ZeroLemon 10,000 milliamp hour extended battery case here. We've now gone almost 39 hours on the battery. Still says we have about 10 hours left, 9 hours and 47 minutes. Let's scroll down here. 15% of phone idle, and so that's just the phone running by itself over the 2 days. The screen, here's the screen on time. It's almost 9.5 hours, so 9 hours and 27 minutes here is what we've gotten on these 2 days. And scroll down a bit, we have call services and phone calls and stuff like that. Android OS by itself, Spotify, like I said, I do a lot of streaming of music. Wi-Fi, there's a lot of, I run off Wi-Fi when I'm here at home and sometimes when I'm out at work and such. And then you got Pokemon Go. That chunks a lot of the battery with the GPS and the screen running. Clash Royale, one of my favorite games. A camera actually doesn't take up that much battery, but I take a lot of photos. I've taken, I don't even know how many, sending through Hangouts and Snapchat and other text messages and stuff like that. And then cell standby is 2%. So, man, this thing's been crushing it. After 2 days, I've kind of gotten used to it. It still is pretty huge. I was with friends last night, and they saw, is that that's a cell phone case? And then I was like, yeah, but it has a 10,000 milliamp battery. And they're like, oh, that's boss. You know, they're excited to hear about that. And the fact that they're like, I was like, yeah, you know, after all day since 8 a.m. and it was like 10 p.m. then, I still have like 70% battery. And they're like, oh, I have like 15% left. And so they get to see that. So about 2 days in, and I'm definitely starting to get used to how big it is. Still an adjustment, and you will be getting used to it for a while. But after 2 days, still have 20% battery left. We'll see how far we can get in tomorrow. So now here's the third and final day, and we made it to 5 p.m. on the third day. So Tuesday, I took it off the charger at around 8-ish a.m., all through Tuesday, all through Wednesday. Now it's Thursday at 5 p.m. and we've been going 3 days now. And I consider that 3 days because it is on the end of the work day, so to speak, on the third day. And that's 56 hours and 28 minutes of this bad boy being on. It still says we have an estimated 2 hours, 15 minutes left. I'm going to charge it after this video, but I just wanted to go through one full cycle to show you guys what it would be like. So we're at 4% now, and we'll show you kind of what it did overall. So phone idle was 19%, and that seems a little higher than normal for this device, but maybe there's some things that we can work out to get a little better battery life in the future. The screen was 16%, and let's take a look at our screen on time. This is pretty impressive. Screen on time was 12 hours, 13 minutes, and 54 seconds. So 12 hours and 14-ish minutes here. And that's going to be about 4 hours each of those 3 days. So I did a little bit more conservative than normal just to see if I could push this out. So I might normally get closer to 4.5 or 5 hours of screen on time, but an average of 4 hours screen on time for each of the 3 days is a pretty good showing of this device, and with it using the 10,000 milliamp hour battery. We got Android system taking up 8%, Spotify is 7%. I stream music a lot, so that'll be doing it from back and forth. And not only do I stream music, then I stream it over Bluetooth as well. I have Bluetooth on, Wi-Fi on, and location services all on. So Android OS, we got some Pokemon Go, I was catching some mons, it's being the best like no one ever was. The Google app for searches and weather and information, etc. Cell standby is only 2%, which is really nice to see. Clash Royale app for winning all the games and being awesome. And then lastly, surprisingly, the camera app is the lowest here, but I take pictures pretty much all day through Hangouts and Snapchat and Messenger and etc. with pictures and videos. Not like all the time, but a good bit throughout the day. So the fact that I only use 2%, that's a pretty solid power usage there. So the question is this worth it? Well, I think yes, it is worth it. Right now it is $60 US, and that you can pick that up on Amazon. I have links down below for it. And this is overall just a great thing. If you want to not worry about battery life for 2, maybe 3 days, this is great. You can put this on the charger before you start your work week and only maybe charge it once from Monday to Friday. That would be absolutely awesome. In my opinion, maybe you're going on a long trip and you only want to charge it just a little bit here and there. This would be great. What I wouldn't suggest is if you have really small hands and or wear really tight skinny jeans all the time, that might not work out for you. But I think overall that if you can get over this being a pretty big, bulky device, that it's going to be a great thing. So I'm going to take a little bit more to get used to it and try it out. But I think I'll be using this a good bit in the future. Maybe switch out between another case or two every once in a while. But when I want to get some battery life and just have some overall long life on the V20, this thing is a beast. This really is function over form. It's not winning any awards for designs. It's not winning any awards turning heads on, ooh, what's that awesome looking case? Couple things I'd like to point out with this is that I'm considering myself a pretty heavy user when it comes to smartphones, since I do play games and YouTube and use the camera app a lot and other things. So it's very reasonable that you might be able to get more than the 3 days or get even longer if you just use like text, an occasional call, and a camera every once in a while, and don't use your screen that often. You might be able to get more than me. So I hope you liked this video on the ZeroLemon 10,000 milliamp extended battery and case. If you want to pick one up, the links are down in the description below. Let me know if you picked one of these up or a similar type of item for the V20 and see what you got out of your battery life. Guys, this has been fun. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and comment down below. Tell me about your experiences and what you want to see next. Thank you guys so much for watching. But as always, you keep it classy. So much battery life. It'll last for days.